Hi, Weather Joey here with your bottom of the South Island weather recap and forecast for Sunday, November 16th, 2025. So our last forecast was last week. We'll go over that forecast, do a little recap, see where we're at, give reasons of how things have changed, and then look out into the coming week to let you friends out there know what may be coming from my perspective. As I always say, I think you probably know more than me, but that's all I got to share right now. Anyway, as always, before we get started, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank and acknowledge the first peoples of this land, their ancestors, the First Nations, the people who have been here forever, to thank them for allowing us as guests here to live, work, play, and exist on their beautiful traditional territory. Many thanks, Ashka. So last forecast was the Sunday. We talked about how by midweek, I think if you want to look over that, that's Wednesday, Thursday, we had troughing off the coast that we thought would turn into a low and cross the coast on Thursday. We did get showers on Wednesday, we did get showers on Thursday, but what happened was this trough instead cut off as a little low, actually more than a little low, and caused havoc and a lot of rain to the California coast all the way down to Southern California. So lots of rain down there with this system. And we're going to keep an eye on something like that because that may happen again this coming week. But just knowing that this trough sort of cut off and we're left with a westerly flow into that Thursday. I think it was the 13th and into Friday the 15th. In behind, we had a sort of a westerly flow for that Friday and yesterday, which was Saturday the 16th. Today's the 17th. Oh, where am I? No, today's the 16th. Yesterday was the 15th. Friday was the 14th. So on the 14th and the 15th, we had this westerly flow. Kind of drizzly, just still low pressure up here. Are forcing that through, westerly flow through, not that heavy, but drizzly and cloudy. A few little weak fronts went through there. So where are we right now? Well, little bit of a mellow flow today, nothing too much. We do have a little trough forming offshore once again. This will cross over later today and bringing us a few showers here and there, more of the drizzly sort of seasonal flow. Nothing as far as a lot of snow up in the mountains for you folks up there. But as this moves through overnight into Monday, we're looking at a little weak ridge of high pressure moving in with this overall westerly flow. So that's going to bring fairly mellow conditions for Monday. That high pressure looks like it's going to get reinforced a little bit onto Tuesday. So mellow, not a lot of wind, mainly dry. We may even see a little bit of sun here and there. Through Tuesday, but however, by Wednesday we have a new low forming offshore here. Now this is going to be fairly strong. I got better descriptions in here, so bear with me. And possible sun glimpses. By Wednesday AM, we should see winds back to the southeast as a strong low spins up offshore, sending a strong front onto Haida Gwaii in the central coast. However, yes, sending a strong front. So offshore, strong front coming in, hitting the central coast, a bit of the North Island. However, it looks like this is going to fizzle off before it hits the south coast. We may not even see any rain out of that. And still kind of moderate temperatures. I wouldn't expect any snow for the hills. However, it looks like this trough will once again... Wait a minute. I think I'm getting ahead of myself. In fact, the trough looks like it will once again... cut off and send more rain. Yes, that's what I was thinking. So low, cut off. It looks like it'll cut off as another low and send more rain in California for later this week. So expect more rain down there for our viewers down in California. That pay such close attention up here, well, we're thinking about the plants and animals and spirits down there. We visited down there before, so there is a connection down there. So yeah, more rain down there, heads up. As we get into, so that's taking us later in the week. This fizzles out for us Wednesday, and into Thursday and behind, we're into sort of a bit of a mellow westerly flow again. Nothing too much. Thursday looks pretty calm, but by Friday we got another low. Actually, Thursday we got a low, strong low, moving up into the upper Gulf of Alaska. This is going to send a front across on the Friday. So a fair bit of rain on Friday. It looks like temperature's still kind of warm enough. Rain, most mountains, snow in the higher alpines, so really nothing collecting on the lower mountains. And then as we move into next weekend, after that front goes through on Friday, we're thinking it's more of a mellow westerly flow, fairly calm, mix of sun and clouds. Hopefully we'll get a little bit of swell wave action down across the south coast or the island and stuff to go out and enjoy that. So not a ton of rain, pretty dry until Friday, which is 5 days from now. So expect some then, but not a lot of cool temperatures. So snow, looks like next week we might be into a little bit of a cooler pattern sourcing from here more so, even though you think this would be. There's leftover warm temperatures. But we may get into the snow line coming down the following week. Anyway, as always, let me get my cup of coffee on a Sunday morning. Sunday the 16th. Sunday the 16th. As always, my friends out there, may the forecast be with you.